learn how writers learn as much about a topic as possible and then how they organize what they've learned, the facts, that information, into paragraphs. Today and tomorrow, you are going to be writing about something that you have been wondering about. If you're anything like me during quarantine, you have started noticing things that you've never noticed before or wondering things you've never wondered about before. A lot of those for me have been things that are connected to like new hobbies that I have discovered during quarantine. But I've also just spent a lot of time like wandering around my neighborhood or my yard or my house and noticing things that I've never noticed before. So some of the things that I have been wondering about, I have been really into gardening during quarantine, and I have been spending a lot of time looking at other people's gardens in my neighborhood, and a lot of people have rain barrels. So I've been wondering about rain barrels and the benefits of rain barrels and why people use them. I've also spent, because I have a toddler, I've spent a lot of time digging in my yard, and we have found so many worms. I had no idea there were that many worms in the ground in my yard, and I've been wondering about the types of worms that we have in Seattle. I was making pancakes a couple of days ago and we had no baking powder. And I was so frustrated that I could not find a recipe online that didn't require baking powder. So I was wondering about baking powder and the role that baking powder plays in pancake recipes. So the thing that you choose to wonder about and to do some quick research on can be pretty small, even a little silly, right? Maybe there's an interesting weird creature that you have been kind of excited about that you want to research. Maybe it's a bug. Maybe you have started a new hobby during quarantine and there's something connected to that hobby that you want to research. Maybe you want to go take a walk around your neighborhood and just notice some things and wonder about them. Maybe it's a plant. Maybe it's something you see in a neighbor's yard. So choose something pretty small that you want to do some just quick research on. So you're going to do some really quick research once you've chosen that topic. I chose rain barrels. You're going to do some very quick research on that topic. And I just want you to write down a bunch of facts. You do not need to worry about the sources that you choose. You don't need to worry about like putting quotation marks. I just want you to like make a very quick list of facts that you find. Then, once you have a list about 15 to 20 facts, you're going to start to look for connections. You're going to start to look for patterns in the facts that you find and start to group them into paragraphs. So here's my list of facts that I found about rain barrels. And immediately I started to notice that a lot of the facts that I found were about like how the rain barrel is made, about the structure of the rain barrel. So the typical rain barrel holds about 55 gallons. It's made of food grade plastic or is an old wine barrel. There's a hole in the top of the barrel, which the downspout of the gutter is placed through. That's how the rain gets in to the barrel. There's two smaller holes that are cut in the sides of the barrel. The one near the top allows the water to overflow, so if it collects too much rainwater. And then the one near the bottom has a spout or connects to the hose, so you can get the water out. So that's how, I guess, people use it to water their plants. So one of my paragraphs I know is going to be all about how a rain barrel is made. Then I started seeing a lot of facts about reducing stormwater runoff. So I had no idea, but one of the benefits of rain barrels is that they reduce stormwater runoff. So actually a lot of the facts that I learned about were about stormwater runoff. So in nature, when it rains, the water filters through the soil and enters the waterway. So it actually the soil cleans the water before it enters lakes and streams. In cities, things like roads, parking lots, and driveways make it so that that can't happen. When it rains really hard, the water on those surfaces can carry chemicals and other bad things into rivers and streams. So, and then down here on another site, they were talking about the benefits. They said one of the benefits is that it reduces stormwater runoff when chemicals are carried off the roads. That's what it is. So that's definitely going to be one of my paragraphs, is about the benefit of reducing stormwater runoff. I also started to notice that I had some facts about the quality of the water from the rain barrels. So I had facts that said that it was dangerous to drink the water from a rain barrel. I didn't realize that the water is great for gardening, but not for vegetable or fruit gardening. And that's because chemicals from the roof could be carried into the rain barrel water. And then also that rainwater is high in oxygen and free from salts and fluoride compounds that can damage plants. So that's why it's so good for like watering the plants in your yard, is because it's high in oxygen and free from those salts that hurt plants. And then I had this one random alone fact about how one of the benefits is that it reduces your water bill. So I added that in there because I had that fact. So my next step then, once I've gathered my 15 to 20 facts, I'm going to start to look for groups, and I'm just going to highlight those groups, right? So I'm just going to highlight these so I know which ones are connected to those. So here's your assignment today. I want you to choose something you've been wondering about. It really can be super small, super silly. It does not matter. If you are struggling, choose a weird creature because they are fun to learn about, or a weird bug. My daughter has been super into bugs lately, so I've been learning a lot about bugs. Then step 2, you are going to do some really quick research and write down 15 to 20 facts. Then I want for you to group those facts into paragraphs. You're not going to write any of the paragraphs. You're just going to start to group them. So let me show you what this is going to look like in Schoology. If you are going to do this in Word, you can use the highlight tool, which is right up here in Word, to highlight your facts and to start grouping them together. And then just down here, you're going to write paragraphs and what are the 3 or 4 paragraphs that you found in your facts. If you are going to use the Create tool, so if you used Word, remember you're going to click on the Upload button when you go to Submit Assignment, and you'll upload your Word document there. If you are using the Create tool in Schoology, you are just going to use, if you come up here, you'll see this, it's an A, and if you click on the little arrow, you can actually highlight your facts in Schoology under the Create tab. So you can do it there as well. Or if you want to do it on paper, if it's easier for you just to scribble down facts on paper and then use an actual highlighter, you're welcome to just take a picture of that and then to click on the Submit Assignment and then Upload. So you'll have to somehow get it from your phone to your computer, but then you can upload that image. So that works as well. So let me just quickly remind you. Step 1, you're going to choose something you've been wondering about. Step 2, you'll do some really quick research, 15 to 20 facts, and then you're going to start grouping those facts into paragraphs. So just highlight which facts go together and tell me what are those paragraphs going to be about. Get started.